Welcome to Level 1 Reddit, where we give you your daily Reddit fix. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's popular on Reddit. Today's episode, we're going to start with this one, guys. This one's pretty juicy, but I guess it depends on how you look at things. So the story goes something like this. I saw this on Reddit. My wife, who is 33 years old, is denying we're married and wants to be called my girlfriend. I'm confused. We have been married 4 years now, going on 5. We have generally had a good relationship and a good marriage. We had a reasonably expensive wedding, which we're still paying for now. I get the bill every month to prove it. My wife took charge of planning the wedding, so it was to her taste. She seems to enjoy it at the time, and for the first few years of our marriage, she would look back at the wedding with me happily and without issues. In recent months, I've noticed my wife's attitude to our wedding and our marriage shift. It began by her, I thought jokingly, referring to herself as my girlfriend. She told me to buy her a girlfriend card for Valentine's Day rather than a wife one, for example. I thought she was just playing around at first, but this behavior has only escalated. 2 months ago, my wife stopped wearing her wedding ring. I was understandably upset and asked her if there was something wrong. She told me everything was fine and she just, quote, doesn't want the sensation of jewelry on her hands. My wife never liked jewelry and rings, so this could be the case. But when we are with friends, my wife will get upset if I talk to her as my wife rather than just a girlfriend. She will go as far to interrupt me if I'm talking or telling a story to correct me on our relationship. Initially, this was something our friends laughed at, but now everybody just finds it understandably awkward. This is so weird, guys. One of our friends was talking about their own wedding, which is scheduled for early next year. They asked for advice from my wife about how she'd planned ours, and my wife responded with, "What wedding?" When our friend continued talking about the table decorations my wife had used, my wife visibly teared up, started crying in front of the whole group, and had to step outside. Later that evening, I asked her directly if she has a problem with our relationship, or if I'm doing something wrong with it in our marriage. She assured me that everything is fine between us. From my perspective, outside of this issue, our relationship is as strong as ever. We are considering kids in the near future. Our sex life is great, and my wife recently suggested we get matching tattoos as a renewal of our love. Is there advice anyone can offer on why my wife might be acting like this, or what should I do? So that was the entire post, and my take on that is, first of all, don't get a matching tattoo. That is so, matching tattoos are never a great idea. I think it's tacky. I think it looks weird, but you know what, to each their own, right? And second, I don't think they should have kids until they figure out what the fuck is going on. So I read some of the comments here. Some are funny, some are weird. Some are really helpful, actually. So the first comment says, you need to sit down with her seriously and make sure she's okay. This does sound like she could be having a breakdown and need some help. Actually, I agree on that one 100%. If she got upset, second comment, if she got upset when friends talked about her table decorations, it sounds like the wife genuinely believes they are not married. Meds or other health issues could cause this. Go to a doctor. I know 2 people who acted weird and did really crazy and dangerous things totally out of character because their meds has messed up their calcium levels. Go to a doctor. Third comment, no kids until you find out what the hell is going on. Fourth comment, she needs mental health and marriage counseling. The fifth one came from one of my co-workers that I work with. this guy's a little bit off. So this is what he said. She was fucking around on you. She is mentally checked out and trying to make her whoring around okay by saying she was not married. When the friend brought up the wedding decorations, she broke down because she knew she fucked up by sucking another dude's dick. You need to leave that bitch now while you still can with no kids. You're 29. You're golden, man. You might think that sex life is great, but I bet you she is getting dicked down by some other guy. Leave. Don't look back. Just get the fuck out and go find someone else. So that was my coworker's take. My take on that is, marriage, it's for better or for worse. So if your significant other is having a problem, whether it's mental, physical, or maybe even infidelity, I think it's something that you should be working with together instead of just leaving. Now, if it's just a boyfriend girlfriend, I can see why there's no long-term commitment. But if you're married, you kind of tied the knot, as they say, and you kind of have to work things out. But for some people, they can only take so much. So infidelity is where they draw the line. So if this married woman really is having an affair, some people, that's more than what they can handle, and I don't blame them for leaving her. So I thought that was just one of the weirdest stories I've heard on Reddit. Second story. Today I learned many doctors have stopped calling cancer treatment a fight or battle. They argue these terms misrepresent how treatment works, and if treatment fails, the patient is left with guilt and a false belief they didn't fight hard enough. So I took some of the comments here, some of the top comments, and this is what they said. Chemo destroyed me, and I didn't like any of this rah-rah stuff at all. If it was a fight, I got my ass kicked. Fortunately, science has more or less cured my cancer before stage 4. I heard every battle and fight and, quote, kick cancer in the nuts slogan. But the only actual comforting or encouraging thing I remember from anyone besides my wife came home when I was shivering in the lobby waiting to see my doctor was an old guy in a walker in obvious pain, put his hand on my shoulder and said, "It's tough, ain't it?" That's harder to put on a t-shirt though. Second comment. I prefer hearing chemo described as a race to the death where you hope cancer gets there first. Third comment. Having beat colon cancer twice, I didn't do any battling. I had treatment and surgeries and will closely monitor my health for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean I fought any harder than the people who passed from it, like my dad. Fourth comment. This one I really like. The whole battle metaphor for any disease sucks. I'm chronically ill, and the way everyone else wants me to think about it is being at war with my own body. I don't want to defeat or conquer my flesh. I want to heal it. I'm not locked in a struggle with my body. I'm caring for a hurting, scared creature. People get angry or dismissive if you don't use the verbiage of conflict to describe it, though. It's really... my mother-in-law passed away of cancer right when my wife and I started dating, and I could see how much that sucked for my wife. And then I think 5 years ago, my father-in-law died of cancer. It's really tough for everyone. And then one of my wife's uncle passed away of cancer. One of my uncles too also passed away from cancer. And cancer is this disease that one way or another everyone's been affected with. And what I like about this Reddit topic is that it's almost universal to everyone when they hear the word cancer, because like I said, you either have a friend or family member that's been affected by it, and it's tough for everyone. And when they say that they're fighting it, I think the last comment said it perfectly. I don't want to defeat or conquer my flesh. I want to heal it. I'm not locked in a struggle with my body. I'm caring for a hurting, scared creature. And I totally agree with some of the doctors, the way they stopped calling cancer treatment as a fight or a battle, because you're not battling yourself. You're not fighting cancer. You're curing yourself of cancer. And for anyone who lost anybody from cancer, I'm really sorry. I know how you guys feel. Okay, so last one. This one's kind of weird, but there's some sense of truth into it. Bill Gates said, "I will always choose a lazy person to do a difficult job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it." What's a real life example of this? Okay, so I did this yesterday, and some of the comments here have changed since. But one of the real life examples of this, somebody made a comment. I plug the clocks in at midnight, so they're already set. Okay. The second one says, years ago as a student, I got a job stocking shelves. Guys were carrying the heavy boxes, put them on the floor, and bend each time to pick up the items to put on the shelves. I was a light 100-pound woman, and carrying the boxes was killing me physically. So one day I had an idea. I put the box on an old desk chair and rolled it around. No more carrying and no more bending. Funny thing is, instead of doing the same thing, most of the guys called me lazy and kept carrying the heavy boxes just to prove how strong they were. Now they have special rolling carts to do the job. You know, I'm a big proponent of don't work harder, work smarter. And I think that's exactly what Bill Gates is trying to do here. Just work smarter, not harder. Let's see some of the new comments here. The clerk was asked to bring 145 white papers into the office. He doesn't want to count the papers manually, so he printed 145 blank sheets and took them in. What? That's awesome. Yeah, why not? I mean, why would you count 145 when the machine can do it for you, right? It's the exact same thing. Oh my god. Let's see. This one says, I was an intern at a large company during one summer back home from college. My work, 95%, consisted of using SAP, import to Excel, clean data, and generate reports. Occasionally create some tool someone needed. In the first 2 weeks after getting a hang of my responsibilities, writing all the Excel formulas needed and basically automating 99% of my work, I was chilling. I went from actually working from 9 to 5 to maybe 1 hour tops a day. Finding, importing, cleaning, and reporting usually took hours, but with all the formulas, it took 2 minutes of clicking. I then helped the other cool intern get this shit set up so we could both just chill. We could take 2-hour lunches, which was paid for by the company, and nobody said anything because we were getting so much more done than the other interns. Of course, I helped for special tasks when asked, but those were simple 20-minute tasks building something in Excel. Overall, the easiest, stress-less internship of my life. Right there is what I'm talking about, guys. Work smart, not hard. I mean, you can work hard too, but why work harder if you can work smarter and make it easier for you and for everybody else? Called revolution, guys. That's it. We got evolution, not revolution. I worked 16 hours yesterday, and I just woke up from my 8-hour nap, and now I'm going back to work in less than an hour. So guys, that's all we got for today. Enjoy your day, and remember, until I come up with a better slogan, my slogan is, you are beautiful. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.